In this tutorial, I'm going to show you a cool bonus tool that you can use in Google Forms, and it's called response validation, or basically a password question. So what I'm going to do is go down to the very last question right here for student information, click on it. So when I create a new question, it goes below it. And I'm going to create a short answer question. And it's not necessary, but you can type whatever you want. You could type secret phrase, password, whatever you want. And then the next step is to go down to the 3 bars and say response validation. Go over to number, change it to a regular expression, and under contains, you say matches. And that means it's going to have to match, whatever the student types has to match, capital letters and all, and lowercase, the exact phrase you type. So I'm going to put STEAM in here, and then I'm going to put wrong answer if they miss it. Now, you have to make it required because they could just skip it and move on. So you have to put that required layer in. Now, why would you do this? Maybe you want to ensure that all students start at one time. Maybe you want to post the quiz and you don't want a student taking the quiz until you're ready to have them take it. It adds a security feature to your form that kind of protects it. Another way to use it, and it was a great discussion with the teacher in a training session, and then they said, well, what if we did your idea of going to section based on answer, and we make a different test for each one of these class periods so that it's not the same quiz? And what would stop a student from going back during the Google Form quiz and taking the other version of the test? And so I suggested you use the password function, and then after 5 minutes, when the students are, into the assessment, go into the password and just change it. So then when a student ever came back to the first page and wanted to go to a different version of that assessment, they would get stuck and they could never go forward again without letting you know. So I'm going to demonstrate that today. So here we go. We got a password question in, and let's bring up a student phone. And remember, everything you do in Google Forms is live, so it makes adjustments in the form after they refresh the form or move to a next section. So I'm going to click on the Google Form quiz link that we put in Google Classroom, and I'm going to open it up. So now I'm going to quickly type in some information here. And now notice at the bottom there's a password question. And so let's just say, nope, don't want to do it. So I cannot move to the next page until this field is filled in. So I'm just going to say, okay, number 1. And notice it says wrong answer. So that's my custom message I gave to the student. What if I do capital STEAM? And it still won't do it because remember, it has to be exactly the same capital lowercase letters used in your phrase. So the student puts in the password that you've given them and they move on to the next section. Now over here, all I have to do now after the students have started is just come over here, and I'm going to change it to red now, and I'm going to click up here just to ensure that it saved it. And now let's look at the student screen right here. Let's look at the student screen and see what they see now. So here's the student screen, and they're going to say, okay, I'm going to go back now. And now look, here it is. They've got all the information, and it looks like the password is good, right? So they hit next, and nope, that password was changed. So that student cannot move on now and select another version of a test that they want to take at this point, and they'd have to ask you for help, and you would see that they have gone back and try to do a different version. So I thought this was a really cool tool that you could use with Google Forms, and I hope this is a helpful tool for you. Thank you so much for watching this short tutorial video.